हेलो एवरीवन। आज हम क्लास 12th की बायोलॉजी चैप्टर नंबर 2 सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स की एनसीईआरटी रीडिंग करेंगे। लेट्स स्टार्ट। आर वी नो lucky that plants reproduce sexually? The myriads of flowers that we enjoy gazing at, the scenes and the perfumes that we shone over, the rich colors that affect us, are all there as an add to sexual reproduction. Flowers do not exist only for us to be used for our own selfishness. All flowering plants show sexual reproduction. A look at the diversity of structures of the inflorescences, flower and flower parts shown an amazing range of adaptation to ensure formation of the end production of sexual reproduction. The fruit and seed in this chapter lets us understand the morphology, structure and process of sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Angiosperm. Flower, a fascinating organ of angiosperm. Human beings have had an intimate relationship with flowers since time immemorial. Flowers are objects of aesthetic, ornamental, social, religious and cultural value. They have always been used as symbols for conveying important human feelings such as love, affection, happiness, grief, mourning, etc. List at least 5 flowers of ornamental value that are commonly cultivated at homes and in gardens. Find out the names of 5 more flowers that are used in social and cultural celebration in your family. Have you heard of floriculture? What does it refer to? To be biologists, flowers are morphological and embryological marvels and the sites of sexual reproduction. In class 11th, you have read various parts of flowers. Figure 2.1 will help you recall the parts of typical flower. Can you name the 2 parts in flower in which the 2 most important units of sexual reproduction develop? Pre-fertilization structure and events. Before before the actual flower are seen in on plant, the dioecious that the plant is going to flower has taken place. Several hormone and structure changes are initiated which lead differentiation and further development of flora primordium. Inflorescences are formed which bear the flower buds and then flowers. In flowers, the male and female reproductive structure, the androecium and gynoecium, differentiate and developed. You would recollect that the androecium consists of a whorl of stamen representing the male reproductive organ and gynoecium represent the female reproductive organ. The stamen, microspongium and pollen grain. Shown the 2 parts of the typical stamen, the long and cylindrical stalk called the filament and the stalk called filament and the terminal generally bilobed structure called anther. The proximal end of filament is attached to thalamus or petals of flower. The number of length of stamen variable in flower of distinct species. If you were to collect a stamen each from 10 flower and arrange them on a side, you would be able to appreciate the large variation in size seen in nature. Careful observation of each stamen under a dissecting microscope and making neat diagram would illustrate the range in shape and attachment of anther in different flower. A typical angiosperm anther is bilobed, with each lobe having 2 theca. They are dithecous. Often a longitudinal groove runs lengthwise separating the theca. Let's understand the various types of the tissue and their organisms in transvection section of the anther. The bilobed nature of anther is very distinct and transvection of anther. The anther is a 4-sided tetragonal structure consisting of 4 microspongia located at the corners, 2 in each lobe. Microspongia develop further and become pollen shake. They extend longitudinal all through length of anther and are packed with pollen grains. Structure of microspongium. In transvection section, the typical microspongium appear near circular in outline. It generally surrounded by four wall layers: the epidermis, endodermis, endosome, middle layer, and the tapetum. The three wall layers perform the function of protection and um, help in digestions of anther to release the pollen. The innermost wall layer is tapetum, process dense cytoplasm, and generally have a more than one nucleus. Can you think how tapetal cells would become binucleated when the anther is young? A group of completely arranged the homogeneous cells called sporogenous tissue. Sporogenous occupies the center of each microspongium. Microgenesis: as the anther developed, the cell of sporogenous tissue undergo meiotic division to form microscope tetrad. What would the be ploidy of the cells of the tetrad? End. Applied. Each cell of my spongious tissue is capable of giving rise to a microscope tetrad. Each one is potential pollen or microscope mother cell. The process of formation of microspores from a pollen mother cells (PMC) through the meiosis is called microsporogenesis. The microspores, as well as they are formed, are arranged in the cluster of four cells, the microspores tetrad. As the anther mature and dehydrate, the microspores dissociation from each other and developed into pollen grains. Inside each microspongium, several thousands of microspores or pollen grains are formed that are released with a dioecious anther. Pollen grains. The pollen grains represent the male gametophyte. If you touch the open anthers of hibiscus of any other flowers, or would be find deposit of yellowish powdery pollen grains on your finger. Sprinkles these grains on a drop of flower taken of glass side and observe under a microscope. You will really be amazed at the variety of architecture, size, shape, colors, designs seen in the pollen grains from the different species. Pollen grains are generally spherical, measuring about 25 to 50 micrometers in diameter. It has a prominent two layers wall. The hard outer layer called exine is made up of the sporulin, which one of the most resistant organic matter known. It can be withstand a high temperature and strong acid known. It can and alkali. No enzyme that degrades sporulin is so far known. Pollen grain exine has a prominent apertures called jump pores where sporulin is absent. Pollen grain are well preserved as a fossils because of presence of sporulin. Sporulin. The exine exhibit a fascinating array of pattern and design. Why do you think the exine should be hard? What is the function of germ pore? The inner wall of pollen grain is called intine. It is the thin and continuous layer made up of the cellulose and pectin. The cytoplasm of pollen grain is surrounded by plasma membrane. When the pollen grain is mature, it contains two cells, the vegetative and generative cell. The vegetative cell is bigger and has abundant food reserve and large irregular shaped nucleus. The generative cells is small and floats in cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. It is a spindle shaped with dense cytoplasm and a nucleus. In over 60% of angiosperms, pollen grains are shed these two cells. In remaining space, the generative cells will be divided mitotically to give rise to male gametes. Before pollen grains are shed, three cell stage. Pollen grains of many species cause several allergies and bronchial afflictions in some people, often leading of chronic respiratory disorder, asthma, bronchitis, etc. It may be mentioned that Paranthenum or carrot grass that came into India as a contaminant with important wheat has become ubiquitous in occurrence and cause the pollen allergy. Pollen grains are rich in nutrients. It became a fashion in recent years to use pollen tablets as a food supplement. In Western countries, a large number of pollen products from of tablets and syrups are available in market. Pollen consumption has a climate increased performance of athletes and race horses. When once they are shed, pollen grains have to land to the stigma before they lose mm, viability. If they have to bring about fertilization, how long do you think the pollen grains retain viability? Mm, the period for which pollen grain system and viability high variable and some highly variable and some extent depends on the preventing temperature and humidity in some has a rise, and wheat pollen grains lose viability within 30 minutes of their release, and in some members of Rosenaceae, Leguminosae and Solanaceae they maintain viability for months. You have heard of storing sperm of many animals including humans or for artificial insemination. It is possible to store pollen grains of large number of species for years in liquid nitrogen minus 196 degrees Celsius. Such store pollen can be used as a pollen banks, similar to seed banks in crop breeding programs. The pistil, megasporangium, ovule and embryo sac. The gymnosperm, the gynoecium represent the female reproductive parts of flower. The gynoecium may be consist single pistil, monocarpellary, or may have more than one pistil, multicarpellary. When there are more than one pistil, they may be fused together syncarpus or may be free apocarpus. Each pistil has three parts: the stigma, style and ovary. Stigma serves as a landing or platform for pollen grains. The style in an elongated cylinder part beneath the stigma. The basal plugged part of the pistil in the ovary. Inside the ovary, in the ovarian cavity locule, the placenta is located inside the ovarian cavity. Recall the definition and types of placentation that you studied in class 11th. Arising from the placenta are the megasporangium, commonly called ovules. The number of ovules in an ovary may one wheat, paddy, mango to many papaya, watermelon or orchids. The megasporangium ovule lets us familiarize to ourselves with the structure of typical angiosperm ovule. The ovule is a small structure attached to the placenta by means of a stalk called funicle. The body of the ovule fuse with funicle in the region called hilum. Thus, hilum represent the junction between ovule and funicle. Each ovule has one or two protective involves called integuments. Integuments encircle the nucleus except at the tip where a small opening called micropyle in organisms. Opposite the micropyle end is the chalaza, representing the basal part of the ovule. Enclosed within the integuments in mass of cells called a nucleus. Cells of nucleus have abundant reserve food material located in the single embryo sac form a megaspore. Megasporogenesis, the process of formation of megaspore from the megaspore mother cells is called megasporogenesis. Ovules generally differentiated a single megaspore mother cell in the micropylar region. For a nucleus, it is a large cell containing dense cytoplasm and prominent nucleus. The MMC undergoes meiotic division. What is the importance of the MMC undergoing meiosis? Meiosis results in the production of the four megaspores, female gametophyte. In a majority of flowering plants, one of the megaspore is functional, while the other three generated. Only one functional megaspores, female gametophyte, embryo sac. This method of embryo sac formation from a single megaspore is termed monosporic development. What will be the ploidy of the cells of the nucleus MMC, the functional megaspore and female gametophyte? Let us study formation of embryo sac in a little more detail. Nucleus of function megaspores divides mitotically to form two nuclei which move to opposite poles, forming the two nucleated embryo sac. The more sequentially mitotic nuclear division result in the formation of four nucleated and later to eight nucleated stage of embryo sac. It is of interest to note that these mitotic division are strictly free nuclear, that is, nuclear division are not followed immediately by cell wall formation. After the eight nucleated stage, cell walls and land down, uh, leading to the organizations of typical female gametophyte of embryo sac. Observe the distribution of cells inside the embryo sac or embryo sac. Observe the distribution of cells inside embryo sac. Six of the eight nuclei are surrounded by cell walls and organized into cells. The remaining two nuclei, called polar nuclei, are situated below the egg apertures in the large central cell. There is a characteristic distribution of the cells within the embryo sac. Three cells are grouped together at the micropylar and constitute egg apertures. The egg apertures in turn consist two synergist and one egg cell. The synergist have a special cellular thickening at the micropylar end called filiform apparatus, which play an important role in guiding the pollen tubes into synergids. These cells are at the chelazal end and are called antipodals. The large central cell are as mentioned earlier has two polar nuclei. Thus, a typical angiosperm embryo sac at maturity through eight nucleated is seven celled. Double fertilization. After entering one of the synergids, the pollen tube releases the two male gametes into the cytoplasm of the synergids. One of the male gametes moves towards the egg cell and fuses with its nucleus, thus completing the syngamy. This results in the formation of the diploid cell, the zygote. The other male gametes move towards the two polar nuclei located in the central cells and fuse with that to produce a triploid primary endosperm nucleus (PEN). As this involves the fusion of three haploid nuclei, it is termed triple fusion. Since two types of fusion, syngamy and triple fusion, take place in an embryo sac, in the phenomena is termed double fertilization, and in an event unique to flower plants. The central cell after triple fusion becomes the primary endosperm cells and develop into endosperm, while the zygote develop into an embryo. Post fertilization structure and event. Following double fertilization events of endosperm and embryo development, maturation of ovules into seed and ovary into fruit are collective terms. Post fertilization events. Endosperm development precedes embryo development, while the primary endosperm cell divides repeatedly and form a triploid endosperm tissue. The cells of these tissue are filled with reserve food material are used for nutrition of developing embryo. In most common type of endosperm development, the PEN undergoes successive nuclear division to give rise to free nuclei. Thus, this stage of endosperm development is called free nuclear endosperm. Subsequently, cell wall formation occur and the endosperm becomes cellular. The number of free nuclei formed before cellular cellularization varies greatly. The coconut water from tender coconut that you are familiar with is nothing but free nuclear endosperm, and the surrounding white kernel is cellular endosperm. Endosperm may either be completely consumed by the developing embryo. Groundnut pea beans before seed maturation of may it persist in the mature seed, and be used to during seed germination. Split open some seeds, some of ester peas, beans, groundnut, fruit of coconut, and look the endosperm. Each they find out whether endosperm is persist in cereals, wheat, rice, and maize. Embryo developed at the micropylar end of the embryo sac, where the zygote is situated. Most zygote divide only after certain amount of endosperm is formed. This is an adoption to provide assured nutrition to a developing embryo through the seed differ greatly. The early stage of embryo development are similar in the both monocotyledon and dicotyledon. Despite the stage of embryogeny in dicotyledon's embryo, the zygote gives rise to the embryo and subsequently to globular heart-shaped and mature embryo. The typical dicotyledon's embryo consists of an embryonal axis and two cotyledons. The portion of embryonal axis above the level of cytocotyledon cotyledon is the epicotyl, which terminates with the plumule of stem tip. The cylindrical portion below the level of cotyledons is hypocotyl that terminates its lower end in the radical or root tip. The root tip is covered with root cap. Embryo of monocotyledon possesses only one cotyledon. In the grasses family, the cotyledon is called scrotum, that is situated towards one side of the embryonal axis. At its lower end, the embryonal axis has radical and root cap enclosed in an undifferentiated sheet called coleorhiza. The portion of the embryonal axis above the level of attachment scrotum of is the ecotyle, and epicotyle has a shoot apex and a few leaf primordia enclosed in hollow foliar structure. The coleoptile shook a few seed in water. Maize, wheat, beans, chickpeas overnight. The split the seed. Observe the various part of embryo and the seed. Seed in angiosperm initiate the final production of product of cell reproduction. It is often described as fertilization. Oval seeds are formed inside fruit. A seed typically consists of seed coats, cotyledon, and embryo axis. The cotyledon of the embryo are simple structure, generally thick and slow due to storage food reserve. Mature seed may be non-albuminous and ex-albuminous. Non-albuminous seed have no residual endosperm as it is completely consumed during embryo development. Example: pea, groundnut. Albuminous seeds retain a part of endosperm as it is not completely mm, used up during embryo development. Example: wheat, maize, barley, castor. Occasionally, in some seeds such as black pepper and beet, remains of nucleus are also persisted. This residual persist nucleus is the perisperm. Integuments of ovules harden as the protective sheet coats. The micropyle remains as a small polar pore in the sheet coat. This facilitated entry of oxygen and water into sheet during the germination. As seed maturation, its water content it is reduced and seed become relative dry. The general metabolic activity of the embryo shows down. The embryo may enter a state of inactive called dormancy, or if favorable conditions are available, adequate moisture, oxygen, and suitable temperature, they germinate. As ovules mature into sheet, the ovary developed into a ovary. The transformation of ovules into sheets and ovary into fruit proceeds simultaneously. The wall of ovary developed into the wall of fruit called pericarp. The fruit may be fleshy as in guava, orange, mango, etc., or may be dry as in groundnut and mustard, etc. Many fruits have evolved mechanism for dispersal of seeds. Recall the classification of fruit and their dispersal mechanisms that you have studied in an earlier classes. Is there any relationship between number of ovules and in an ovary and the number of seeds present in a fruit? In most plants, by the time for fruit develop from the ovary, other flower part generate and fall off. However, in a few species such as apple, strawberry, cashew, the thalamus also contributes to fruit formation. Such fruit are called false fruit. Most fruits, however, develop only from ovary and are called true fruits. Almost is most of the species fruit are result of fertilization. There are few species. in which fruit develop without fertilization. Such fruit called parthenocarpy fruits. Bananas is one such example. Parthenocarpy can be introduced to the application of growth hormones, and such fruit are seedless. Seeds offer several advantages to angiosperms. Firstly, since reproductive process such as a pollination and fertilization are independent of water, seed formation is more dependable. Also, seed have better adaptive strategy for dispersal to new habitats and help the species to colonies in other areas. As we have sufficient food reserve, young seedlings are nourished until they are capable of photosynthesis on their own. The hard seed coat provides protection to the young embryo. Being product of sexual reproduction, they generate new genetic combination leading to variation. Seed is the basis of our agriculture. Dehydration and dormancy of mature seeds are crucial for storage of seeds, which can be used as food throughout the year, and also to raise crop in next season. Can you imagine agriculture in the absence of seeds or in the presence of seeds which germinate straight away soon after formation and cannot be stored? How long do we see the seeds remain alive after they are dispersed? This period again varies greatly. If in a few species the seeds lose viability within a few months, seeds of a large number of species live for several years. Some seeds can remain alive for hundred of years. There are several records of a very old yet viable seeds. The oldest is the that of Lupin lupinus arcticus excavated from Arctic tundra. The seed germinated and flowered after the estimated record 10,000 years of dormancy. The recent record of 2,000-year-old viable seed is of the date palm Phoenix dictifera, discovered during the archaeological excavation at King Herod's place near the Dead Sea. After completing a brief account of sexual reproduction of flowering plants, it would be worth attempting to comprehend the enormous reproductive complexity of some flowering plants by asking the following question: how many eggs are present in an embryo sac? How many embryo sacs are present in ovule? How many ovules are present in an ovary? How many ovaries are present in typical flower? How many flowers are present on a tree? And also on. Can you think of some plants in which fruit contain very large number of seeds? Orchid fruits are one such category, and each fruit contains thousands of tiny seeds. Similar is case in fruit or some parasitic species such as orobanche and striga. Have you seen a tiny seed of a ficus? How large is the tree ficus developed from that tiny seed? How many billions of seeds does each ficus tree produce? Can you imagine any other example in which such a tiny structure can produce such a large biomass over the years? Apomixis and polyembryo. Almost trees in general are the produce of fertilization. A few flowering plants, such as some species of asteraceae and grasses, have involved a special mechanism to produce seeds without fertilization called apomixis. What is fruit production without fertilization called? Thus, apomixis is a form of asexual reproduction that mimics sexual reproduction. There are several way of development of apomictic seeds. In some species, the diploid egg cell is formed without reduction division and developed into the embryo without fertilization more often, as in many citrus and mango varieties. Some of the nuclear
Nuclear cells surrounding the embryo sac start dividing. Protube into the embryo sac develop into the embryos. In such species, each ovule contain many embryo. Occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed is referred to as polyembryo. Take out some seeds of orange and squeeze them. Observe the many embryo of different size and shape from the each seed. Count the number of embryos in such in each seed. What would be the genetic nature of apomictic embryo? Can they be called clones? Hybrid varieties of several of our food and vegetable crops are being extensively cultivation of hybrid as temporarily increased productivity. One of the problem of hybrid that hybrid seed have to be produced every year. If the seeds collected from the hybrid are shown, the plant in the progeny will cigarette and do not maintain hybrid character. Production of hybrid seed is costly and hence the cost of the hybrid seeds become too expensive for the farmers. If these hybrid are made into apomicts, that is there is no segregation of characters in the hybrid progeny, then the farmers can keep on using hybrid seed to raise new crop year after year, and he does not have to buy hybrid seed every year. Because of the importance of apomixis in hybrid seed industry, active research is going on in many laborations around the world to understand the genetic of apomixis and to transfer apomictics genes into hybrid varieties. Thank you so much.